Hello, S&P here with Cockroach Entertainment, and today we're going to go ahead and do a tutorial walkthrough, not the tutorial, just a tutorial walkthrough of Star Ruler 2 and the latest update of r4398 build. So step 1, go into your options. If you've never played before, that's kind of who I'm gearing this video toward. If you've played before and you don't understand stuff, poke through the video. I'll try to keep it going in some form of logical order. Don't really know what that'll be yet, but here we go. Look through your key bindings. A lot of fun stuff here. I don't use most of it, but a lot of fun stuff here. Various settings, kind of standard. Back out. So let's go ahead. Let's start looking at these new races. So I won't go ahead and read all of this. If you want, go ahead, pause the video, let you look through them all. And there we go. Alright, so easiest way to look at everything is to go into customize. Everything here is just graphical. And this is all changed in here. Insert whatever you want up there as your name. So, governments. Alright. So, capitalism, 400 special funds. The way I can explain special funds, they operate outside of your budget, and we'll get to that once we're in-game. But, best way to think of that is kind of like money in the bank. Heavy carrier, as of now, I'm pretty sure, we'll start with it to test it. But I'm pretty sure it starts with support as well. It's not just the heavy carrier. And we'll explain what all these starting cards are. Diplomacy, and it's just going to be easier to show you than to try to explain each one separately. Energy, use that to activate alien artifacts. Asteroids, free resources. And, yep, standard. Now, all of these will have a random option that will give you the bonus of whatever option it gives you, and something special for doing random. Then, theocracy. FTL energy is what you use to power your faster-than-light system. Gates cost that in maintenance, and I'll explain how they all use it. So, FTL. Fling beacons use that energy to propel things anywhere in the galaxy. Now, they've got an umbrella distance that shows how much they can cover, and if you're in that distance, they can pick you up and move you. If you have enough FTL, you've got a storage cap. This includes planets and all sorts of wonderful things you can throw. Gates, kind of standard. You've seen them in every sci-fi thing ever. In one gate, out the other gate. All networked, and so you don't know where you're, well, you can choose where you're going. It's not point A to point B transit. They cost FTL in maintenance and then nothing to move your ships in and out. Hyperdrive, it's a ship system, unlike these two. And, excuse me there. And again, costs, the bigger your ship, the more expensive it is to hyperdrive away. And yeah, that's that. Random gives you a diplomacy card. Specifically won't screw you over. Alright. Then Slipstream. Now, okay, Slipstream is an interesting one. Yes, it opens Rift A to Rift B. They're not networked, so they only work like that. And the enemy can use them to come back as well. So you want to have your other end guarded, or for whatever reason have it in a non-essential location, so to speak. Then Sublight. If you're new, I wouldn't do it. It's really fun to play. Not as much on multiplayer because, yeah, there's no benefit to handicapping yourself currently. Alright, so let's hop over to Life. Now, Terrestrial is what I recommend playing for your first playthrough, so that you're not hit with all of the new mechanics. But that said, we'll go ahead and take a look at what the other mechanics are. Devout. Devout have an altar building which replaces whatever planet resources are there, and all of your altars work together to have a max empire population. If you go above that population, you become godless, and your fleets are weaker and you produce less resources. You also have more people per planet level, which means your higher tier planets will earn you more money than any other races. Evangelical. Build star temples instead of outpost orbitals. Outposts being your standard defense, star temples sending out missionaries, which when they evangelize one of your planets, it starts earning you diplomacy resource. We'll get into that once we're in there. And if it goes to someone else's planet, you get diplomacy. Oh man. Yeah, excuse me again. You get diplomacy for resource and a portion of the money that it gives you. Linked, I treat kind of like the Borg. You've got the mainframe orbital, which can move, but mainframe orbital, which functions practically like a Borg cube, increasing the effectiveness of everything near it. And of course, if you're not near the Borg cube, then you're weaker. We'll explain what anomalies are, but that's kind of nice. Control computer, nice. Emergency supplies, nice. We'll explain subsystems when I get into them. Mechanoid, you build population, you don't need food or water, and tier 0 planets like food and water cost maintenance, so you're going to have more money. But you can't use shipyards or dry docks, so you can't use multiple budgets to go for a ship. We'll explain that once we're in there. And they can also use FTL energy to transfer their population from planet to planet. Again, there's the random with a, on the life, it's a very nice bonus of 1 research per second. But I digress. Star Children, they don't settle planets. They build, where is it? They build habitats, there we go, habitats, around the planet's surface. And so while you can't build defenses or anything on the planet's surface, buildings and whatnot, they automatically don't have to deal with pressure, and so they always get what's on the planet, or they automatically go up in pressure without the necessity of building cities, I guess is the more correct way to put it. We'll get into that when we have something to look at. Yeah, you've got a mothership, which is a pretty massive titan for the beginning game. High weapons does not use ammunition to fire as of currently. Motherships is where all your population is, and it is useful to note that habitats are all fairly decently armed, which can help against some basic assaults. And then Verdant, all of your ships are roughly 20% smaller. I think that's the math that I did. But they all have to be held together by a sinew square. And sinew needs to be a big system. At some point we'll open up a designer and look at that, maybe another video. They don't have cities. They have a stock that you build to communicate to the rest of the planet. Alright, so that said, let's just go ahead and boot up terrestrial for now. Except, sure, you've got various galaxy types. Clusters is probably the easiest. I really enjoy Spiral. I really enjoy Expanse. Expanse is also kind of good if you're looking for more of the not competing with the AI until late game. We'll go ahead and boot up a clusters for now. And oh, the Expanse also reminds me incredibly of a board game that I love called Eclipse. Alright, somehow I forgot to change stuff, so we'll just select Terrakin, which is your basic hyperdrive, Empire, terrestrial. And let's go ahead. Yeah, we'll start game. Oh, game options. Almost forgot. So you can adjust the frequency if you want all of those. You can get everything up there. Remnant aggression, default, they'll just defend themselves, but you can have them chase people in the fleet. I always turn fully explored map off. I'm assuming at some point they'll add a save defaults button or something here so that you can create your own defaults. But as it currently stands, go in, change everything manually, get it whatever you want, and then go ahead. Oh, I guess I should have explained more. Galaxy distance between the systems is my understanding, how many systems, and functionally, however many galaxies or systems your computer can handle. So let's go ahead. Now we'll start game. Let's not flatten it. They don't use a true 3D as of yet. Let's go up and pause this because we're going to be explaining. With Empire and supports. I did start with supports. So, alright. So this is our galaxy. In the center is a black hole. There's the current artwork for black hole. It's not animated because I'm not near it. But let's see, so over here we have one extra asteroid because we are Empire. But let's start, before I explain what all these do, let's start by explaining what your planet is and does. So I am Volo 1. Let's go ahead and open it up. Here is my planet's surface. It's decently decently big, lots of room to build. As of yet, I don't know if that does anything. I've really not, yeah. I think it's a way to trigger over to moons if you have a moon base. I really don't know though. So can't help you with that. It's been bothering me. Should look it up. But so here's all the designs you have. But yeah, so okay. Population. Population cap. Actual population on the planet. The civilians will build cities for themselves to live in and will build pressure structures. Best way to describe that is you provide, well, let's see, what do we have here to provide? I provide electronics, which are a money pressure resource, pressure 3. I provide 3 electronics. They build 3 little buildings somewhere that help with money. Yeah, we said electronics was money. Currently only making 5k income from the planet, and labor at 4 labor per minute. Got ice, desert, and forest. And requirements to level up, anything food, any tier 1 resource. So buildings, you've got all sorts of fun things to play with. To start out, I always get a warehouse, so that just in case I'm not using the labor, I can let it build up. This is great because I've got, let's go ahead and show you this. You've got your cost there on the left and maintenance there on the right, but warehouse, reduced build cost and reduced maintenance on desert biomes. And so if I just build it in the desert, it's at its minimum cost. Now, you can end up using this space as the civilians develop the tiles. You'll notice the maintenance cost and build cost go down. And you can build over civilian structures, just bring in your bulldozers and whatnot. But, so as they develop, they'll eventually develop the whole planet. But until they do, extra squares out there are going to cost you extra maintenance and extra build costs. But so since we got the desert, we'll go ahead and get one of those. And then the research complex is really good on crystallic. Insert correct pronunciation here. But this building, you'll notice that it gives 1 research and adds a research pressure. But yeah, so each of these has their uses, all kind of self-explanatory. I'll let you go through and poke through them. And some of them, like this one, has reduced build cost but not reduced maintenance. Metropolis adds to your pressure, replaces up to 6 cities, kinda nice. Doesn't have reduced build cost, but does have reduced maintenance. Alright, orbitals. Singularity Lab can only be built in the black hole. Shipyard, nice easy way to create stuff. Commerce station. Yeah, so shipyards are how you create, if I remember correctly. Yeah, you can build them out there, and I can't do it now because we don't have all the stuff to do it with, but that's how you create some of your bigger stuff, by contributing money over time. We'll get up to that. FTL jammer, supply depot, supply being your ammunition for your ships, outposts, contributing defense, and more defense, the more neighbors are there. Then whatever orbitals you've designed, ships whatever ships you've designed. Alright, and then they've added a toggle repeat if I had something up there and wanted it to repeat. Do note that some of these buildings cost production, so, and then they've got the time here it would take us to build them. Alright, so now let's explain Empire resources. Step 1, budget. Budget, you generate money each turn. If you don't use it, it goes somewhere. Those somewhere can be welfare, which buffs your diplomacy, power, buffs your energy, research, and production. If you don't build a research lab like we didn't, typically I'll have it set to research, although terrestrial early on you should really be spending all of your money. But alright, so budget goes over using shipyards or dry docks. You can finance things. I think shipyards use the finance mechanic. I've actually not gotten to playing with them now that they've added dry docks. But yeah, okay, with at least dry docks and dry docking a massive ship, you can keep pumping money in over several budgets and slowly fund it into existence. And just hovering over gives you this tooltip with a summary. More stuff will come up, and then your expected next budget. Diplomacy, let's go ahead and tab into here. When I discovered the other, in this realm, 2 people, they'll pop up. You've got all sorts of wonderful cards that do wonderful things. They all have costs. Those costs are all in your diplomacy resource. And to acquire new cards, this is you see the timer here, it'll keep shifting to the left, and everybody has the same option. So you're all kind of pulling from this. Again, kind of reminds me of Eclipse, and in a very, very, very good way. Some of them, like Mall of the Galaxy, is a wonder one. There can only be one Mall of the Galaxy, but anyone can plop it down, and it decreases the cost to build on a planet. If you're doing a massive construction project on a massive planet, kind of nice. This star is combat efficiency. And so if I add this, if I could take that, I can't actually because we don't have stuff, and named that flagship, and I could have named it whatever I wanted, I just tabbed through Greyhawk. It will increase the damage and stuff that fleet does. So a nice way to optimize your fleet, you'll notice that there's stars for tiers, and if you hover over each of the planets, or sorry, each of the cards, this one being a named planet, sorry, if you click on each of the cards, each additional quality adds 1 to the max pop. Up to 3, so add 2 more, can have up to extra 5 population, which will increase your money, and it adds a production. So not bad. And yeah, I won't go through what all of them are. And negotiate where it has the plus or minus. If, oh, do I have any? I don't have any of them here, but there are some like Annex System, Annex Planet, Host Research, Host Galactic Senate. Those are propositions, and Zeitgeist or generic events will occur, and all of those will require you to spend influence to affect the outcome with various benefits or malices, whatever you want to call it, the negative side. But anyway, next, energy. I currently, let's just see if I can find one real quick. Left click does it one. Let's just go ahead and explain this. Right click does it all at once. Using WASD to move. Let's see, what do we got here? Okay, well, yeah, we got everything here. Alright, so a stellar generator generates a new star and a bunch of protoplanets, which are another one of the resources. Let's go ahead and pause. There we go. And, sorry, yeah, protoplanets, which you can put energy in to decide what they will become. Cost 2,000 energy. I currently have 0. And there, well, there it is, storage penalty. It has exponential decay. The more energy you have, I don't know if it's actually exponential, but the idea is the more energy you have, the harder it is to get more continually. Research does something similar. The more you have, I think the less you make. I think that's a background mechanic. It's not advertised. So while we're here, we'll go ahead and we'll look at what some of the other pressure types are. Jewelry, which does 5 money to influence. And then this planet, now this isn't because of jewelry, this is the planet. See if we have, we've also got it here on water. Tropical paradise. When that resource is exported, like let's go ahead, you can either tell people colonize that, or if you have nothing selected and just right click the star, colonize all planets. We're going to go ahead and queue up exports here, because this guy will need a food and water to level up to tier 1, and at tier 1 you can access tier 1 resources. At tier 2 resources. So on, so forth. So what we have here, and then plutonium, energy and defense. Defense allows your planets marked as use defense, or planets that are producing defense. Let's start using it for this planet. To start building, let's go into designs. These support ships around them, and so you'll have a little planetary fleet defending your planet. So we'll go ahead and start getting that, and once we get that colonized, we'll go ahead and ship it. Yeah, we'll go ahead and ship it here, and then the pressure will start being used on this planet. And well, you can see they've already started developing tiles, but we'll start seeing markets appear here. So now to explain the remnant. These are ships which we did not mark as hostile, so we're fine, just chilling here. And they all protect something. In this one, it's influential knowledge. It's just straight up some of that resource. Mining base, it's a free, already mined asteroid. And so if we go back over to our planet and say we want, well, Morphic, their pressure is 2 of whatever your native resources pressure is. So our native resources are food and water, neither of which gives pressure. So we don't want that to go here, but this one has native money. Now, Morphic can do money. So if we were to go ahead, we have this planet selected, planet with labor, right click, it'll cost us 20 labor, which in here is 5 minutes. But let's say we also wanted to build a scout to explore. 57 seconds, but it won't happen until after this. If we just click drag, you'll see that red line. Now they'll happen in the order we want them. Now, these yellow things, it's important to know that if you can't afford something on this budget, you can borrow into the next budget at a cost. So if I really wanted a battleship, now that's excessively long and we wouldn't do it, but I could get a battleship. You see now I'm in the negatives and the budget's gone down. I also have a debt growth penalty, which means people are upset because we're in debt and not making more people. They're too busy working to pay off the debt. So we'll go ahead and let that scout get built. There's various artifacts. I won't explain what they all are here. Let's just go ahead and send him out. Alright, there's our scout. So scout has all these extra options. But you've got hyperdrive, which is what we have. Then I can tell him to auto-explore and he'll go bouncing around. Or auto-explore with FTL, which will use up to a portion of our FTL energy for him, so quicker. But so initially, auto scout doesn't necessarily scout everything close. So we're going to go ahead and tell him we want to move there, but we don't want to micromanage him, so we're going to hold down shift and give him some more orders. Let's go ahead, he's flying out, shooting us as we're going by. Not really concerned. We did knock out a couple support ships. And you'll see we're hitting maximum range on the missiles. Travel is momentum based. And so if I were to take him and say, hey, I want you to actually stop here, you'll notice that he starts turning and goes, whoop, was going way too fast for that. So readjusting your fleets can have negative side effects, especially if you don't have proper engines on your fleet. So in here, now, okay, this is one of the things I was looking for. You've got a tier 2, but it can't be exported. This is one spot that can only receive. It's an ancient city, 4-2, but we actually got lucky. It also has ancient ruins on it. They are one of the 2 alien structures you can currently find. Is kind of neat. You can actually see them on the planet's surface. I would like to see, and it's in beta, they're probably getting to it, see an ancient city actually have an ancient city on here and function as a again, excuse me, as a city resource that adds maybe population or something. Alright, so yeah, first person to colonize it gets a fair amount of research. Kinda nice. And if you haven't gathered, I'm just letting stuff run. I'm not actually trying to do a playthrough. Alright, so that one's, let's go ahead and say we've got hyperdrive. It's only 63, we've got 206. Go ahead and do that, and you'll notice all of them have a charge up time, and they can be charged while you're moving. Once you're moving, you can be shot at, but you can't shoot. Typically not a problem. And you'll notice that once we get here, all of our momentum is used. We're not still drifting. So, but faster than light. Well, hyperdrive scales based on distance and size of ship. Alright, here we've got so tier 3, again, you've got to be a size 3 planet, which is harder to do. It's not hard. Once you have the structure to actually access them, it's not hard. But all of them have really good things. So, increases all labor generation on the consuming planet by 50%. So, let's say I build my home world as a factory world, as I very well should. I get hydroconductors, I send it there, and labor increases by 50%. Coal, which is a tier 0, there's no 1 or number there. It's also not a food resource, it doesn't have a little food icon. Alright, well, it's got tropical paradise. It gives 2 energy, but it increases labor generation by civilians 30%. So I have hydroconductors, which give 16 labor pressure, and then whatever their factories that they build are all then increased by 30%. It's quite nice. Here's one of the protoplanets. Now, you've got all of your artifacts here. You don't really want to activate a protoplanet from here, because you can choose what tier resource it gets. Typically I choose tier 2 because you can get some kinda nice ones, but if you really need a tier 1 or a tier 2, you can do that as well. So let's go ahead and let's just show you the black hole. Let's see, what new diplomacy cards? Ancient Knowledge, there's one of the annexed planets I was telling you about. A rush to get something like that through. Call out. You choose someone, say, hey, you should talk about this, and then their next talking, or their next influence gives 6. If not, you get leverage against them, which is free influence to play against them. I guess I didn't explain these. Influence, kind of reflecting this. Troops, reflecting your entire military power. Planets, they're on a pseudo-alpha scale from red to green. Green being very good compared to everyone else, red being behind everyone else. If I saw someone else, then I would see the colors. I don't actually see that. Alright, but okay, I said red to green. Influence is blue or not blue. Then points, a good way to judge how you're doing compared to everyone else. Pause, that's why nothing's advancing. Black hole, some planets, there is a, let's go pause that again. Engine of the Reverent. Each one of these, they're artifacts, they use energy, gives a buff to everything you have. So all designs, 100% increased thrust. There's 4 of them. They each buff something different, and if you get all of them activated, you get a massive tank ship that can win the game for you. But yeah, so trying to think if there's anything else I haven't explained. Asteroids, you do only ever get one of the things on there. Construction materials, they've got a timed use, as do FTL shards if we can find it. Well, there's a big one. There we go, FTL shards. You can, and we have, oh nope, we have, you can find a tier 2, tier 1 resources on asteroids. And those should never be passed up. I mean, a tier 2 uranium, that you, to get a tier 2 planet, you'd have to feed them, if I remember correctly, 2 food, a water, and a tier 1 resource, tier 1 costing you another food and water. Or you could just mine an asteroid and get it for free. And uranium gives you energy, not bad. Oh, there is one more type of planet. I'm going to try and see if we can find it real quick. It's a wonder planet. They don't have wonders or planetary resources to speak of. And more resources. Let people go through. Now there's a good one, Psionic Regions. That one's actually worth stopping and taking a look at. I'll let you all explore these in your own game. The Psionic Regions are special because after 3 minutes of sitting in a system, like if I exported that to my homeworld, for 3 minutes, after 3 minutes, none of those planets can be captured. You haven't found one, have you? No, you did find the asteroid system. A lot of fun stuff. But yeah, after 3 minutes, none can be captured. It's kinda nice. Forces your enemy to take a different approach. I've got plenty of FTL, I should just be FTLing around. More fun stuff, another river apart. Now it is important to know. Alright, oh, we never explained debris fields because I haven't found one yet. Alright, so all flagships can scan debris fields. And all of them, let's go ahead and just scan it and show. It'll pop up down here when it's ready. Oh, okay, well, we'll explain this first. Oh, paused it and I got them both. Alright, so I found him first. Or he found me first. I'm the first foreign power, alien power, to meet him. I get 5 bonus. Nope, my bonus is above my cap. And so, excuse me again. The amount I earn is going to be lower because I'm above my storage cap. Storage cap in that case is tied directly to how much I produce. This one, storage cap is 0 until you can build tech, or I assume they're going to add a building or something that can handle it. Yeah. Alright, And then I can build buildings that will increase my FTL, storage cap, and there's some planets that will affect your regen rate. Alright, what have you found? Alright, distractions. Anomaly has been sighted. Okay, so in this case, we've found a glowing crystal. And so I can either choose to study it, and the outcomes are random. This could have a good thing or a bad thing. This is just a simple destroy it, nothing's going to go wrong. I'm kind of the risky type, and on something like this, it's really worth going for it. Alright, so we got the negative. He became obsessed with the crystal, corrupted. So now the dread, or a dread pirate has spawned. A size 666 ship that'll go around and raid. See if we can see one. Civilian ships that'll fly between galaxies. If we colonize this, we'll get a trade route that goes along here. And he'll fly around zapping them, stealing their money, and he'll stash it throughout the system in hordes. If you destroy a horde or him himself, you get all of that money as special funds, which will carry on. Like if I had 5k special funds, then I would have that 5k special funds next budget if I didn't spend it. But so that's anomalies. See if I can go ahead and find the other guy. I'm assuming he's up here, and I just want to show empire bounds. Well, they're kind of like here. I guess I haven't explained the white line yet, so we'll explain that. And I think that'll be everything. We'll call it a video. Alright, so they have a mechanic called Trade Zone, which is every system that you colonize and every system that directly connects to it. So, well, this one is maybe inside the line. Let's say it was a little closer and it's inside the line. It's not technically in my trade zone. Currently, they just have borders expanding to the corners rather than the corner of each system. So here, here, here. Again, it's in beta. Maybe they'll fix that. It does get kind of weird when you've got people expanding. But within your trade zone, let's go back over here, orbitals, you can build any station as long as you... Don't know why I don't have vision on this. Oh, I haven't explored it. Okay, anything that is in your trade zone and you've explored. You cannot build in deep space currently, but if you build, you can build like a tractor beam ship and drag whatever it is out into deep space, and that's a good way to hide. Again, excuse me. For whatever reason, I'm exceedingly tired at the moment. But that allows you to build things and then hide them in deep space, like your fling beacon. It's got an umbrella that covers about like this, and so if you hit it in deep space, the enemy has trouble finding and destroying it, and you've got faster than light all over, and you can come up with some different troll things where you deploy stuff in deep space near your enemies and allow you, like if you deploy a gate, using a gate ship out, say I wanted to attack a guy and let's say he was here, then I could deploy a gate in, say here, FTL my fleet in, surprise, I'm here. If I start losing, retreat out the sides and work our way back to the gate, and then we're back home. So there's all sorts of fun strategies, and I can't go into all of those now. And plus, I don't want to ruin too much of the game. You can see right here, we hadn't zoomed in. This is because it wasn't flattened. You do have this sort of distance currently. We'll see how that continues to develop. Right now it's kind of nice. It's just kind of, you take a 2D plane and you wrinkle it. So I'm not sure how useful it is. It does add a little bit to distance, or at least I think distance is calculated like that. But yeah, that's Star Ruler 2. If there's anything I missed, I apologize. Design sandbox and creating designs, definitely another video. Oh, okay. Yeah, two more tabs and we'll call it. So, planets, this is where you see all of your trade routes. Let's say I hadn't done anything yet. I can switch it to say, okay, who is production? He's doing production. Normal. But what do I need to level people up? Surface stuff. Oh, percentage used. So requires, oh, I need a food and a level 1. Level 1, food. Drag it, and now it will automatically start if I go back and play, planets. Okay, it's now working on leveling up to a tier 2. And so once it gets to tier 2, it needs a food, a tier 1. I don't have any of those available. I can drag that to him though, so he'll start producing a little bit of money. So yeah, planets, really, really powerful tool for managing your economy, as you get planets that will fill this whole thing up. And then community, this is one of the most underused and over-abused resources in the game. You can, step 1, you can upload your design, very nice, and you can search designs. Let's say, Xenon is a guy I've been fighting against. Here's all his ship designs that he's uploaded. Let's say I like them. There are weaknesses in his designs, and we won't get into that here, but his designs are slow, his designs are incredibly well armored, but let's say I'm not playing against him, I'm playing single player, and I have the utmost respect for his designs. I feel I'm just going to download these, and then within my designs and building, I can build them in-game. Let's say I just wanted to hide all of these designs. I like his support. Let's go ahead and that's downloaded to keep it. I just want it in this game. Oh, but he doesn't. So let's say I download him, but I look and go, okay, good, he is using hyperdrive. Never mind. I start downloading. Oh, but I cannot download if I don't have everything unlocked. So he uses all these little bulkheads, antimatter control computer, within this research web, which I also forgot to show you, I've not unlocked. Now, the best thing I like about this web, well, currently you only have one defined unit branch, shielding. Of course, I'm assuming they're going to add more. Over here you have just a generic branch, but there are kind of general areas you go. Up here, there's a lot of flagship support, damage projections, but the cool thing, so muon cannon, it's a weapon system that you can unlock, but you can also unlock it if you go down here. So you can find stuff in multiple areas, and some of them, like Flagship Command 10, or let's say there's another, or Flagship Command 20, they all stack. And so by going down one way and finding all of the supply techs, or going down here and getting all of the flagship weapon techs, you can stack bonuses and really build your own unique designs and tech pep. This is, hands down, this is one of the best tech webs I've seen in any game, and I'm very pleased with it. But I'll let people go through. Most of them have, or some of them have, alternate unlocks. Like here I could unlock using influence if I didn't have enough research, or I could study research. And then once you study something, let's go ahead and use our money there and spend some of our next budget, it starts researching it, and you can immediately jump. So now I can use my research and research bulkhead. And so yeah, within designs, I've now downloaded it. Let's say, oh, I don't like lasers, I could go in and edit it, save it as myself, rename it if I wanted. But yeah, so there are a lot of, back to this, there's a lot of good designs out here. And there are a lot of bad designs out here, and people aren't usually all that good about keeping them updated for updates. So sure enough, you'll find stuff on here that is kind of out of date and doesn't take advantage of new mechanics. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and call that a video. Thanks for watching, hope I helped, and well, there we can see now he's got a good military, not a lot of planets. But yeah, if you haven't picked the game up, absolutely worth buying, 10 out of 10. Probably this is one of the best, in its current state. To me, this functions as one of the better space games I've had the joy of playing. Well, thanks for watching, and Cockroach Entertainment out.